This is the biggest tomb in the entire world, and nobody is allowed to step on it. Did you ever hear about Kofuns? They are all over Japan. There is one literally 30 minutes away from my house here where I live in Japan. But what if I told you that people were once buried alive in them? Actual human sacrifices. What if I told you nobody really knows what's inside them? That even archaeologists aren't allowed to enter them? And what if I told you that whoever tries to disturb a coffin dies mysteriously? Some people even think these things aren't just tombs. Some people think they were built by aliens. When most people think about ancient Japan, they think about samurai. Almost nobody talks about Kofuns, which is strange because they're everywhere. Seriously. Once you know what they look like, you'll start noticing them all over Japan. Some are hidden in forests, some are sitting right in the middle of cities, and some are so ordinary looking that people walk past them every day. The first time you see one, you will think this. It's just a hill. But look at them from above and everything changes. Most Kofuns have a very unusual shape, and you can only see the shape from the above, looking at them from the sky. A circle connected to a rectangle. People call it a keyhole shape, and nobody knows for certain why ancient Japan became obsessed with them. There are thousands of these tombs. Some are small, others are absolutely massive. The biggest one is called the Daisen Kofun near Osaka. It's believed to house Emperor Nintoku. And from the air, the whole thing looks less like a grave and more like something deliberately designed. Which brings us to the first dark part of the story, because building these giant tombs may have come at a terrible cost. Most people think ancient tombs are just places where someone was buried. But according to some of Japan's oldest records, more than that happened. Because the people inside these tombs might not have been buried alone. One of the oldest books in Japanese history is called Nihon Shoki. Inside it is a story that sounds like something from a horror movie.
My father built for the emperor before me, and his father before him. We do not ask what the tomb is for. We ask only where to place the next stone.
According to the text, when an emperor died, servants were buried alive around his tomb. Not after they died, while they were still alive. The account says people could hear them crying and screaming for days.
I knew the men who were chosen. Good men, strong men. The emperor's death is not just his own. It belongs to all of us. We built this tomb to last forever. Some of us stayed inside it to make sure of that.
Eventually, this practice was stopped, at least according to the story. Some historians believe eventually clay figures may have replaced real human sacrifices.
They said the clay figures would be enough now, that the gods would accept them instead of us. I shaped each one myself. I gave them faces. I did not want more men to die.
So instead of burying actual people around the tomb, clay figures were placed there instead. There is also stories about something called Hitobashira, or human pillars. The idea was that a living person would be buried inside a structure as a sacrifice meant to protect it. Whether every story is true is still debated. And that's only the beginning of the mystery, because nobody really knows what's hidden inside the largest tombs. The craziest part about the story is not the human sacrifices. It's that in Japan, nobody is allowed on or inside them, not even archaeologists. Why? What are they trying to hide?
Like the video.
The biggest kofun in Japan are controlled by the Imperial Household Agency. According to the government, these sites are sacred imperial graves. Because of that, access is heavily restricted. For years, archaeologists tried to get permission to study them. Most requests were denied, and that naturally created a lot of speculation. After all, if these are some of the most important archaeological sites in Japan, why keep them closed? What could be hidden inside? The largest kofuns remain mostly untouched.
It was just a dare. But once we got to the mound, my friend stopped talking, stopped moving. Just stared at the base like he was reading something. I had to drag him away. He remembered nothing the next morning.
And that's when the stories started. Stories about curses or about bad luck. If you browse paranormal sites in Japan, you find many stories of people going to a kofun and bad things happening to them afterwards.
My friend's farm was full of kofun, normal to him. But that second evening, I saw a black shape slide, not walk, into the tunnel entrance. When I told him, he went pale, said it wasn't the first time. I salted myself before I even got on the train home.
There are stories of archaeologists trying to dig up a kofun only to die mysteriously afterwards.
Back when I was a kid, we used to explore the old tunnels cut through the burial mounds near our house. Thought it was cool. Then one evening, one of us saw a pale light glowing from a sealed section. No source, just sitting there in the dark. We ran. Never talked about it again.
Of course, these are just stories on spooky Japanese websites, but I got a real story for you. If you watched my previous video about the tomb of Masakado, you know there's a true reported case of 14 people dying mysteriously after trying to disturb the grave. This is literally confirmed on the official website of Japan. The most crazy part? When people dug up the tomb after the 1923 earthquake, they found a stone chamber underneath. Something completely unrelated to Masakado. Many people believe it to be an ancient kofun. Was it the curse of Masakado that killed them? Or maybe was it the kofun underneath? There's one detail that keeps showing up in almost every discussion about kofuns, ancient aliens.
サブスクライブ
Here's something weird. The famous keyhole shape of a kofun is almost impossible to appreciate from the ground. You need to see it from above. And that's where the questions begin. Why build something so large and so precise if almost nobody standing on the ground could ever see the finished design? Who was the shape actually for? Researchers have also discovered that many kofuns appear to be carefully aligned with the sun and moon. Their placement and design isn't random. Everything appears intentional. According to ancient alien theorists, what are kofuns actually? So there are several theories.
Now, this sounds absolutely insane.
First, some people think they are landing markers, shapes that can only be seen from above, literally directing spaceships on where to land.
We were never told the shape was for the people. We were told the shape was a door. The circle is where he sleeps. The rectangle is the path he takes to leave. It only works from above.
Second, ancient alien theorists believe that the people buried inside them are not actually people. They are either alien-human hybrids or literal aliens. These beings were worshipped as gods, so the ancient people of Japan built enormous tombs for them.
There was a man who came to oversee the placement. He was not from our village. He was not from any village any of us knew. He spoke our language, but his face was wrong somehow. He pointed at the sky to explain where the tomb should face. We did not understand. We built it exactly as he showed us.
Third, people believe they form a giant network. The thing is, certain tombs line up perfectly over large distances. Their positions form geometric patterns. Their locations may encode information or connect to other tombs somehow.
The tomb was finished on the morning of the 3rd month. By midday, the stranger was gone. No one saw him leave. We searched. There was no road he could have taken. There was nothing. He was simply gone. And the tomb was perfect.
But it gets even crazier. What if I tell you there's a kofun on Mars? There's a shape on Mars that actually resembles a kofun in Japan. Just look at these pictures, you will see the similarities. But is it true?
Ancient astronaut viewers say yes.
So yeah, what looks like a random hill in Japan might actually be an ancient tomb. A tomb connected to human sacrifice, government secrets, curses, and maybe even aliens. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe. And if you want to support the channel and help fund future videos, check out my Patreon below. Thank you for watching. And if any aliens are watching right now, please tell me in the comments what Kofuns actually are.